Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Children of the Most High. I am your host, Soul7, or also, as you know me, Shannon. And today we have Roxy from the Roxy Files with us. I'm pretty much just considering her as my co host from now on, whether she likes it or not.
Hello, Governor.
Hello, Governor. Anyways, today's topic is interesting, and we just wanted to open up the chat today about it. I will get into some more details. We'll have some more information to throw up at you as we are delving into the topic. I know I have spoke a few times about how we all are part of the MK programming, all of those programs, artichoke. I mean, we can go down the line of these things, but that we all have that connection in one way, shape, or form since at least the 1950s, possibly before that, when television and pharmaceutical drugs and things started to become more and more of a daily life. Things like plastics were introduced, more technology continued to climb around those times. So, to kind of bring it back into a foundation level, trauma based mind control has been used since ancient days. There have been many accounts of people using hallucinogenics and scare tactics along the lines to control and manipulate the people. And it's always usually fear-based, traumatic, and it's gone this way down the line. This hasn't changed. When the Caesar of Rome, right, decided he was going to start the Colosseum and the gladiators and all of that kind of stuff. It was entertainment, but it was also used as a traumatizing tactic. Because what are you watching? What are you taking in and supposed to be in joy of? It's the killing and maiming of human beings. And it's pretty gory, and this is before television. Sure, we can say it's make believe, but your mind on a subconscious level, when it takes in the things that you watch on television, things that you see visually as well as audibly, it gets suppressed into your subconscious space. And until you can consciously be aware of it, you cannot decipher. It's just always in there. And things can be triggered in those things when it comes to trauma and certain symbolic things and repetition and the way the entertainment world works. So, that being said, I know that was quite an intro on the subject matter, but I wanted to delve in that this is nothing new is under the sun, but these things have been ramped up exponentially to control you, to bring you into a traumatic hypnotic state, to get you to fall in line with the plan. And so I'm going to introduce Roxy, and I'm going to let her give you guys a little bit of take on some of the research that we're delving into and going from there. Yeah.
Well, I am a Freedom of Information Act junkie over here. I like to go back and look at old paperwork, and I have traced this whole messing with our mind thing all the way back into the 20s, 30s, back in that era. It started all the way back when they had broadcast radio that you could listen to the evening radio on. Like the music that you were listening to, they figured out how to change the hertz in it or the beat per minute to alter your mood. At that point, it wasn't about controlling your thoughts, it was just about altering your mood. So if you think of the United States as a map, let's just say that every music service out there has each song coded with a color according to its mood. Like red is angry. If you're listening to love songs, it's, yellow or whatever. They can take and do a color map of the country and tell what the mood is. And if they see all of a sudden that there's a big populace of people that are just listening to angry styled music, they'll shift the music they're listening to. Like they will literally repopulate your uh, recommended list, however you listen to music. They've been doing that since the 30s and 40s. That's why the powers that be that do these things are in the entertainment industry, whether it be broadcast radio, music you download, a music service, what you're watching on TV, what you watch in the theater, and what you're seeing on your phone. Anything you can see or hear can be used, as well as things you cannot see and not hear. Thus, the reason for a pinball hack like
And they've been doing this to children for quite some time. Yes, children are very susceptible to colors and moods, especially as they're learning these things. And I mean, this, of course, has gone back from the past. And our favorite, entertainer for children with the mouse guy, right? He's notorious for these types of tactics. But it has now reached to a level where you have things like Coco Melon or that's just one thing. Even the shows from Nickelodeon for children, everything is in these colors, but they're color specific. And there's a whole rabbit hole of going down like the Elsa Gate stuff and how they program your child's mind using color and sound programming and flashes on the screen because it traumatizes you. It traumatizes the brain. And therefore, it gets suppressed into that subconscious of your mind. That means your mind then becomes compartmentalized. It's fractured. You're able to dissociate from the trauma. And they use dissociation quite a bit in the process of trauma based mind control. Because if they can get you to fracture away and believe you're in another situation and not even there, they can program you to do just about anything they want.
that. Well,
There is
and
a
if
movie called Blink Twice.
mm-hmm.
I don't know if any of you guys have seen it. I don't necessarily recommend watching it if you cannot handle things like that, like major trigger warning. It even states it on the movie. There's a major trigger warning. But that, in essence, that movie is what is on a daily basis for everybody who is in this world that we live in. Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt you. I just
No,
had
no,
to
no,
bring that
you're
movie up.
good. Well, I think of it as when trying to explain it, if you've ever had a pet, when you shake the dog food bag and your dog comes running, doesn't matter what he's doing, he's coming because he hears the food bag, he's getting something, and you hear him coming through the house or across the yard or wherever it's at. Same theory. The human mind, eye mind connection, you can normally take in and understand 26 frames per second of photos. They film this stuff in like 40 some frames per second for a smoother picture. But if in a second you're seeing 26 images in your brain, for forward movement, imagine if there a couple of those frames, they're slipping a word in there that you're not seeing. And they do it. And they
Right.
do it and you don't know it. And you're hearing things and you don't know you're hearing it. And we're not trying to cause anybody to think they're crazy, but just go look up the weapons they have. I mean, they've got some stuff out there for the military. It looks like a cone, and they shoot it, and it'll make the whole crowd sick. It'll disperse a crowd.
Exactly. The point is there are two, like when we talk about pre-programming before, you hear this a lot with a lot of content creators who understand and are in the truther community about the predictive programming that you see on television and in music, and on that level. And there is a lot of symbolism and trigger things that are being subconsciously suppressed in your subconscious to make sure and ensure to trigger certain responses when things start to pop off. Prime example is what we're dealing with right now. Everybody knows about what's about to hit on November 1st, whether or not they're going to actually come in at the last second and fix it or not. The damage has already been done. The psychological damage and trauma that has been done on the people who are terrified of lack. And then on the other end, the bullying either side. I mean, this is stuff that's been going on for a while, and we've seen the Hegelian dialect of this side is oppressing this side is oppressing this side. They're always going to be issues on either side because they're working for the same goal, and that is to traumatize you so you can comply to whatever it is they say. That they can push people to go into a crazy rage purge and start to go crazy and hurt others. These are prime examples. And how many of you have heard of the movie series The Purge? And it is no coincidence that they played that sound during the lockdowns quite a bit. The Philippines literally had that as their warning sound that curfew was in, and if you were outside of your house at this point, that you will be shocked. Sorry, pew-pewed. Excuse me, algorithms. Gosh,
Forgiveness algorithm.
forgive us, algorithms. No, okay. But yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Easy
It
there,
is
Governor.
systematic. And let me tell you, if any of you have heard one of the electric cars or even some of the hybrids, when they're backing up, what sound does that remind you of? It makes a noise. It literally sounds like the purge. Every time I hear it, I'm like, oh, I hear dun, dun, dun. And I'm like, the purge. No, it's just someone's Tesla backing up.
See, we don't have a tremendous amount of those out here yet.
But you are literally hearing that everywhere when you're out doing your grocery shopping, when you're out running your errands, going to work. Somebody's got an electric vehicle and they're backing out of their parking space, and you're all, I'm like, oh no. These are all psychological triggers that are constantly being bombarded in your being on a daily basis. And people wonder why we're on the verge of insanity. Because as I mentioned, it doesn't matter if Trump comes in to save the day. The damage has been done. So it's going to continue to build. Any thoughts? I went on a rant.
No, I mean, this is what we're here for. Yes.
Yeah.
I was watching a video the other day, and it's a setup, and there's a girl that walks into the doctor's office. She walks in, she sits down, there's 2 or 3 other people there waiting after she signed in, and a sound comes on that goes beep. Everybody in the room but her stands up, sits back down. A couple
Mm-hmm.
minutes later, beep, everybody stands up and sits back down. This happens 4 or 5 times, and all of a sudden she feels like she's not doing something right. So it goes beep, she stands up, sits down, and just a second later, the nurse comes out and calls somebody. So before it's over, they have other people, just strangers, come in off the street, and they all start standing up and sitting down after they watch everybody else do it. It's the 100 monkey theory. Everybody else is doing it, so you start assuming it's right.
Mm-hmm.
There's a monkey experiment. They had monkeys on an island. It's probably some of these monkeys that got loose in Mississippi the other day. I don't know. I still
Which,
haven't figured
speaking
out.
of,
We
that
got to talk about
happens
that
a
because I want to
lot.
know about why they had two particular
That
disorders.
happens a lot. That seems to happen almost
Hmm.
every year right now. And it always reminds me of the movie 12 Monkeys.
Okay.
Just
Anyway, you got
saying.
100 monkeys on the beach. They dropped the sweet potatoes in the sand. The monkeys wouldn't eat them because they were sandy. They showed one monkey how to wash the sweet potato and get the sand off of it with the water, and the other monkeys automatically knew. Like it was learned behavior as a group, not as an individual. Once it got to 100, like one monkey taught another monkey, taught another monkey, taught another monkey. Once 100 monkeys knew, all of them knew. Nobody else had to be
Mhm.
taught. Because they had these monkeys separated, so these monkeys can't talk to those monkeys, so to speak. I have to look at that experiment. Very unique. We we are the monkeys, just by the way.
Right? Which brings me to a lot of, we've talked a lot about the Gateway program on our shows. And this, I kind of wanted to remind you guys with the hearing tests as I wear my headphones. The hearing tests, right, which we've all figured out, and all of us had these hearing tests. Every single one of us kids has this memory of doing this, and they're playing binaural beats. I've mentioned before that in the EDM, um, like festival scene, like all of that kind of stuff, most of their music, they're blatant about it. They play binaural beats and they tell you that it helps to, you know, align your chakra and all this stuff. And so you feel all like, I am magical with the binaural beats. And then they change the megahertz on the music at a certain point, right? And how you hear it and how you listen. So even in the music industry and just even broadcast, the frequencies that they are playing that are most of the time inaudible to you, and especially in music, binaural beats are really easy to just hide in music. Very, very easy, especially electronic. And electronic is the leading, grounds that we're working on, especially considering AI is just taking over the music industry, which don't even get me started on that. That's a whole nother rant. Okay.
I have seen so
But
much AI made or generated, whatever you want to call it, music. Because I feel like, oh, that's a really cool song. It's the first time you've heard it, and all of a sudden it's like stuck in your head. You want to
yeah,
listen to it 3 times. Go and look, it's AI created, and you're like, oh no.
no, 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 too. Everybody can attest to this. You are in a grocery store or your 7-Eleven or whatever, and there's a song on from the Backstreet Boys or like Britney Spears or something, and you did not like these people growing up. That's even possibly even beyond your generation. You know what I'm saying? But yet you're like, "Let me baby one more time. Why am I singing this? How do I know the words to this stupid song?" You know what I'm saying? But my, like, your favorite song, you're like, wait, how did that go again?
That's not what they
Like,
said in that song.
yeah, you know what I mean? How many people have experienced that? That is that is frequency, that is repetition, that is backmasking, which is a
Well,
whole nother level.
even the
You're getting
grocery
hit.
stores. Like, okay, I used to work at a retail store, and it was the first time my office had been like close to the showroom of the big retail store.
Right.
We were even very selective about the music that we played over the sound system because we didn't want it to be too fast. Because if you make it fast and boppy
Yeah.
and just do what, the customer has just bounced right on through the store.
Yeah.
If you make them sad, they won't buy any product. You got to make it middle of the road. There are particular radio channels that you can subscribe to on those business services that, like, you can tell it what kind of store you are, and it'll give you the beats per minute you need. So, I mean, if they know that at the grocery store, imagine what they know.
And also one of my favorite ones, right? Everybody knows that around like right after Halloween, before even uh Thanksgiving hits, it's boom, Christmas carol time, Christmas music nonstop all the time in your ear, especially when you're in any kind of shopping thing at all. And most people are like, ah, they hate it. But yet, I guarantee you, you're already starting to think, oh, God, it's Christmas. I got to, what am I going to get so and so? What am I going to, blah, blah. And then already you're starting to tick
The
and think of
subliminal
what I
messages are
need to
going,
buy.
go spend money, go spend
Yeah.
money. You need that.
Like our favorite documentary, They Live.
Yep.
We need to improve those glasses you got going, that you're starting. Yeah.
I'm digging. Y'all should have seen the post that she shared to me earlier. It was like when I go out with my other conspiracy friend. It was like the whole inside of the car is
You know
wrapped in
what?
aluminum
You know
foil.
what? Can you play that? I'm considering we have our tinfoil hat contest wrapping up tomorrow. I kind of think this is a fun little
Let
thing
me look for
to
that.
play. You will all get a kick out of this and just know and understand.
You sent it on my phone, but then it turned
Yeah,
around back through my X feed when I was looking at that Frank
of
Dodd
course it
act.
does.
FYI, anybody out there, we'll get the viewers involved in this one. Can anybody tell me any information about the Frank Dodd Act? If you know something, tell me. Because this may get very interesting. Let's see if anybody knows. We can speak to who's out there. We've got a Watch Woman of the Dragon, as usual. We've got Mike and Super Dave. Thank you guys. Y'all are
Hey
awesome.
guys.
We got Miss Connie. We got what's the Miss Laura, Carla, Wayne the Pain. There's Wayne the Pain. He's always in here. Hey Wayne. Let's see. Mike, Connie.
I super thank you for joining us in the Supernatural Network today on Children of the Most High. And just want to give love to Super Dave 44. Thanks for showing up. And thank you for my co host, Roxy, with the Roxy Files. And also Daniel. Love you, dude.
Oh,
Logic before
I saw Miss
authority.
Kim in the audience in here while ago too. She said hello. I saw that in there. I'm digging through
And
X Men. I'm trying to find that 1044 you sent me. Oh, I got
love you,
it. Oh,
Super Mike,
God.
too, and Miss Kim. I can't forget you guys. Sorry.
All right, here we go. Let me get started
Let's
here.
see
Oh,
if she can find
it's a
this.
quick one.
Yeah, it's super quick, but it's so good. We
I can
all
never get
we
the
all need
audio to
this.
work right. Let's see. Girl Travelers.
See, I don't
Girl
have any
Travelers.
of this connected to my computer at this moment.
Okay. Also share system audio. I think I got the button. Let's see. Unable to access screen sharing. Please ensure you granted all necessary accesses. Really, man? Just really? Really?
I can't help it. I do love to do that sometimes.
I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about just.
Oh, of
I can't get it to
course.
present.
Before we came on here, guys, it was just kind of why I think we started early. We were going through tech stuff because, of course, I'm involved. So,
Well,
yeah.
Shannon and I used to have two separate studio softwares, and now we have decided to just combine it because we're
Join
together as much as
forces.
separate anymore.
Join forces.
Yes, we have joined forces. I will bookmark this thing so I can show it next time. And it's talking about like the friend asked why you stopped hanging out with him, and the girl is taking the video from inside of the car, and like everything in the car is wrapped in tinfoil, and there's
It is
cars
so
going
great.
by, and the guy's going government spy, government spy,
I told
government
you. I
spy.
told you it's a government spy. With this Red Bull, and I'm like, oh my God, it's me. Oh, yeah, one of those terrible habits I'm trying to beat, guys. That's the Red Bull sugar free. It's a
Okay,
problem.
well, nobody spoke up and told me anything about the Frank Dodd Act. Okay, we know with the government shutdown, and now that those benefits are basically not going to anybody anywhere at the first of the month, there are multiple things that could happen. Hey, Miss Diana, um, do you remember back in '08 when everything happened, there was the bank bailout?
Yep.
Well, there was a particular president named President Obama that signed into law the Frank Dodd Act, which is a bail in. If the banks were to collapse again, there will be no government bailout. It will be called a bail in. Means the bank can assume your assets in your 401k or your cash holding accounts, checking, savings, um, to secure their sale. It's part of the Frank Dodd Act. Go look it up. It's a very interesting uh, bill that could be put into effect if anything happens.
And interestingly enough, that particular president also enacted a bill that is very much so on the subject matter that we have today on the show. See, back in the 70s, there was a lawsuit against advertising companies for subliminal messaging and using propaganda. Not that they actually changed that ever, but they just got more sneaky about it. But technically, it was a law that was put in place. Well, back in the last term that Mr. O had, he decided to also sign a bill that the media and all of that can now do that again. They can pump out whatever propaganda and lies they want. Yay, O.
Yay!
Yay.
Somebody said, yeah, the guys have messaged me in the group said my mic's acting up. It probably is, guys. I did a quickie setup when I got back home. We'll see if this is better. I may not have got everything back where it was supposed to be.
Well, that's okay, guys. I mean, we're really kind of making tonight short because we've had a lot going on this week, and I have a lot to prepare for next week. Um, I do want to continue on this topic, and also we're going to invite Daniel on to talk a little bit more about the natural man and the natural law a little bit too, because I do feel that is a very important subject matter in this time and day and age for those of us who don't want to get things or things or things or
Things.
things, you know, so
Anywhere, everywhere.
anywhere and everywhere, even the ones that are wearables, right? That Kennedy loves to pimp out.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, that being said, that's an important subject matter, and we need to explore a little bit more on how to live in that mindset, as well as recognizing the subconscious things they're trying to push in our being to get us to be able to be controlled, to see the things that aren't there that they want us to see, and not to see the things that are there that they don't want us to see. So that being said, Roxy, close us out.
Limit your screen time, folks. And when you're on it, pay attention to what you're watching and don't mindlessly start scrolling. Because when you do that, you're 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 being worked on. Is all I'm gonna say.
Mhm.
Yeah, beware of the
Discernment,
things.
discernment from the Holy Spirit on everything you can consume. That keep that armor on. Remember to pray for it every day,
Vet
because
your
it's an
sources that you're listening to.
yeah,
Too. Be
exactly.
careful of the messenger.
And watch out and make sure that even we are not AI.
Hello, Governor.
Hello, Governor. Oh
Hello,
my God.
Governor. That's the test, guys.
And
That's the
if,
test.
yeah, just in case, if you guys hadn't seen the show on Tuesday where Roxy shares what her conversation with Brock was
By accident.
by accident,
Just by saying hello,
just check
Governor.
it out. That,
Oh, it
yep.
went crazy today. I was trying to do your thumbnail again for this episode, and the radio was on. And I had it kind of jamming, and it overheard like a couple of the words out the song, and it took off again. I'm like, whoa, nope. I just reached right over there and muted my microphone. I'm like, no,
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 we don't want to hear from you. AI.
no.
No,
We're
you
not.
can keep it
We're
to
never
yourself.
saying hello, Governor, around Brock
Yeah.
again.
Oh my
No.
gosh, no. All right, guys, check out the supernatural.show, our website. Check out the Roxy Files website. Head up all of our channels. We pretty much got stuff going all week long at this point. And
Daniel's
don't
last
forget,
Superthon
yeah,
episode is tomorrow.
that's correct. Although he did say he might, well, no, he's done with it. He's just extending the actual donation part going
Yeah.
on till the 3rd. But you guys, thank you so much for supporting the whole Superthon and this whole thing. Daniel, he's a trooper. He definitely is going to deserve a little vacay time. Okay. So you might see our mugs a little bit more here and there while he takes some extra time. Who knows? But love you guys. Praise Jesus. And thank you for coming, children of the Most High.
Good night.
Good